You woke up tired even after resting, not physically exhausted. Emotionally empty. You did everything you were supposed to do. You showed up. You stayed faithful, but inside something felt flat, distant, hard to explain. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. Psalm 34:18. That verse isn't poetic comfort. It's a statement of proximity. Because there are seasons when you don't feel broken loudly. You feel empty quietly. Not dramatic. Not explosive. Just drained. You wake up and nothing feels sharp anymore. Joy feels distant. Motivation feels forced. Even faith feels heavier than it used to. And you start wondering if something is wrong with you. But Scripture speaks clearly into this kind of emptiness. God was not far when you felt emotionally empty. He was close. Emotional emptiness doesn't come from nowhere. It builds slowly. It comes from giving more than you receive. From holding space for others while your own space shrinks. From staying faithful when encouragement runs out. You didn't lose feeling because you stopped caring. You became empty because you cared for too long without rest. My soul is weary with sorrow. Psalm 69:3. That is not the language of weak faith. That is the language of a soul that has been carrying weight. You kept showing up when you felt hollow. You kept functioning when your inner world felt quiet and flat. You kept praying even when the prayers felt thin. And that kind of endurance leaves a mark. Sometimes emotional emptiness feels worse than pain. Pain at least reminds you that you feel something. Emptiness makes you question if you're still connected at all. But God never equates silence with absence. Why are you cast down, O my soul? And why are you in turmoil within me? Psalm 42:5. Scripture does not shame the empty soul. It speaks to it. You may have wondered why God felt quiet during that season. Why his presence didn't feel strong or comforting. Why worship felt distant. Why Scripture felt harder to engage. But quiet does not mean gone. God is not only present when emotion is loud. He is present when emotion is absent. Even the darkness is not dark to you. Psalm 1:12. God does not need you to feel full to be near. He does not require emotional energy to stay close. Some seasons are not about feeling God. They're about being held by him without realizing it. Emotional emptiness often follows emotional overextension. You gave support. You carried responsibility. He absorbed stress that wasn't yours to hold forever. And no one noticed the cost. But God did. You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Psalm 56:8. That includes the tears you didn't cry. The emotions you didn't have energy to feel. The nights where you lay still, staring at nothing. God noticed what others missed. You may have thought emptiness meant you were failing, spiritually. That your faith was fading. That something was slipping. But emptiness is not the same as unbelief. Aufwind. Emptiness is the result of staying faithful while depleted. Jesus understands this more than we realize. Before the cross, before the agony, before the pain everyone talks about, there was emotional heaviness. My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Matthew 26:38. Jesus named emotional weight. He didn't rush past it. He didn't deny it. He allowed it to exist in the presence of God. So when you felt emotionally empty, you were not outside of God's understanding. You were inside it. God was close when you felt numb, close when prayer felt mechanical, close when gratitude felt forced. Because closeness is not measured by sensation, it is measured by presence. The Lord is near to all who call on Him, to all who call on Him in truth. Psalm 145:18. Truth includes emptiness. Truth includes fatigue. Truth includes seasons where you have nothing to offer but honesty. Emotional emptiness often signals that something needs restoration, not correction, not discipline, not pressure, but care. He restores my soul. Psalm 145:10. Restoration implies depletion. God restores what has been poured out. You're not broken because you felt empty. You were emptied because you poured yourself out. And God does not abandon what has been poured out in faith. Sometimes God's closeness is quiet because loud comfort would overwhelm what is fragile. So He stays near without noise, present without demand, steady without pressure. You didn't feel Him, but He was holding you. Emotional fullness does not return instantly. It returns gently, through safety, through rest, through small moments where you feel just a little more like yourself again. God is patient with emotional recovery. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147. Binding wounds is careful work. Healing is not rushed. If you are in a season where you still feel emotionally empty, this is not the end of the story. It is the place where restoration begins quietly. You don't have to force feeling. You don't have to pretend strength. You don't have to pressure yourself back into joy. God is close right here. He was close when you felt emotionally empty, and He is not moved. If this message spoke to your heart, like, share, and subscribe, so it can reach someone who feels empty and unseen. And if you feel led, comment, God stayed close to me. May His peace find you today.